today. So
Can I ask? I want to ask a question because I always get this all the time when I see these games. Do we want? Do you guys want a remaster or a rebuilding of the game? As in, like, you know what they're trying to do? What they're doing with Final Fantasy 7. Would you prefer that or a remaster? Because sometimes when I
Well,
play a remaster,
it's a remake and a remaster. We get the difference, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
we
All
do.
right. I would say then a remake.
Yeah,
a
I mean,
remake, yeah,
everyone would want a remake, but it's just that costs time and money. So
Right.
yeah.
I
But I'm
also
just,
think like a remake has more potential to be bad.
but
yeah,
True.
With
like
a remaster, you already know what you're gonna get.
that's true.
with a remake, what I mean as in a remake, not where they say it's a remake, then they change a lot of things. I mean where it's exactly the same game, but they just build it again with new graphics, new engine, or maybe like up to date look, giving
But
up to
there's
date
always
stuff.
potential for things to feel off or
Yeah,
not the same.
that's one of the things I'm legit worried about the Final Fantasy VII because I don't think it's gonna have the same feel as the original.
Of course it won't. It's a whole new battle system.
Yeah, like when I say same feel, it's like I can play the original Final Fantasy VII, and it's like I like you feel the emotions of the characters and like just the way it's designed and everything. It's like it touches you like when you play it. But I don't think they're gonna be able to capture that same feeling with the
So would
remake.
you prefer an actual remaster with nice graphics rather than a whole remake?
I mean, I don't because that game is so, like the way it is so dated. I don't think you could
Or a proper remaster, not just like, they higher res assets.
Yeah, I don't think they could do that though. Like, I think you have to remake it because those assets are so old that it's like there's not that much you can do with it, you know?
Did the only remakes they have of Final Fantasy games aren't they the ones that have been ported to like the Nintendo DS? Whereas the ones on the PlayStation Store are just like the PlayStation One games, basically just put on the store that you can download.
Wait, what was
Because
the
The
question?
PlayStation ones are just the old games.
yeah, because the one they have old Final Fantasy games on PlayStation One on
Mm.
the PlayStation Store. They're just the same PlayStation One games that you just download on your console, right? And then the DS has actual remakes, which is
The
actually built for the DS.
it- the Final Fantasy VII one on PS4 is an actual like remaster, though. But the other ones are just like the PS1 versions.
So I didn't know they had a remaster for Final Fantasy VII. Is it actually any good though?
Yeah, it's good. Like you can do there's things you can do like you can speed up the time of the battle and stuff like that so that it goes faster and stuff like that. So pretty cool.
Speed up
So
button.
they've already done that.
Yeah. But you
So
know
they
it's
remastered it and remade it.
yeah, they remastered it, but like with the remaster it's like there's only so much they can do. Like they've given it high res textures, they've added like the speed up time and stuff, but it's like beyond that there's not much else you can really do because it's such an old, kind of game. So but as for the remake, I just feel like it's not gonna have that same feel. Like, I mean, I don't know. It's that game is just like a masterpiece.
I have no comment.
But I feel like if you want Final Fantasy VII the way it is, like you would just play the regular one.
Yeah, and I'm happy to do that. Like, I don't even want the remake that much, you know.
And I wouldn't fault the remake if it changed some things, like like you got to update some stuff sometimes. Like
The thing is with the remake is I think they're gonna milk it. Like they're gonna turn it into a series and they're gonna like sell you all this extra content and or probably different skins for the characters. Like they're just gonna make it into a money making thing, and
That's
that's
what
what I
you
don't
like
like.
with this stuff.
It's,
Yeah,
that's what
it's
that's what that's what they said, right? It's an episodic game,
yeah. So it's gonna be in like three parts and stuff.
and then it's coming to PlayStation 4 first, then it's coming to Xbox afterwards. which is probably, which you know what the funny thing is, it's probably going to be cheaper for Xbox owners because it's probably all going to come on one disc for Xbox, whereas PlayStation owners will have to buy, like beta testing it basically with episode 1, 2, and 3.
If that's
probably,
how you
right?
want to spin it, then sure.
It probably is, right? Like No Man's Sky, the beta test No Man's Sky, incomplete game. The full game comes out on Xbox and it's better. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah,
what's
but
going
we
to
just
happen.
spoke about Tomb Raider where it came to Xbox and then it came to PlayStation a year later as a full game.
But the full game was
You
on
didn't.
Tomb Raider. The full game was on what do you call it? Well,
You're just contradicting yourself.
the full game was on Xbox though as well.
And the full game will be on PlayStation.
Will be. Oh, it still hasn't come yet. Okay. Oh.
Yeah, man. But like, so I mean, without it being Final Fantasy, how do you guys feel? Because there's a lot of classic games from the 90s that we all love. So like, would you like them to remake some of those old games like Super Mario 2 or
I think like a new Zelda.
This man said
Ocarina of Time.
That's the worst Mario ever.
Oh no, it's not. Fuck out.
Yeah, Ocarina of Time. Would you want them to remake that?
I would love that. I mean, they already did on the 3DS, but I think a proper, 1080p remake would be amazing. I'll be down for that.
I don't want it. You know why? Because I've got the remake on. It wasn't a remake, but it was like a port, I think, or whatever, on GameCube. And like when I think of Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time, there's a certain look to it that has to stay.
Exactly.
And like the look of it, and when you think of it, like I don't want that to be ruined. Where it's different to Final Fantasy VII because Final 7 was a bit different. Whereas we've seen Zelda how he is now, and we know what Zelda games would look like now. But that Final Fantasy VII game, you don't know how it would look now because obviously all Final Fantasy games are different. And I just want the Zelda to stay the same. Like there's nothing wrong with it, even though the graphics could look a bit better. Like I don't think we should mess with that. Right? How it is, how Hyrule was in that game. I think it's all right the way it is.
But you don't lose out from it existing.
Yeah, you don't lose out. It's just like the classic feel of how it was before. Like I just don't want it to change.
See, how you feel about Ocarina of Time is exactly how I feel about Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, but Final Fantasy VII is trash.
It's not like
it is trash.
You just don't understand. Like, you don't play JRPGs like that, so you don't understand.
You see, right? Let's be real. If they do this right, Final Fantasy VII, right? You know how they have this Resident Evil 2 remaster, and they've changed a lot in the first 20 minutes of the game and how things are done. I hope they don't change a lot in the Final Fantasy VII remaster like they've done in Resident Evil 2 remaster, because even in the first bit of the game they've changed a lot.
Are you not a fan of the way that looks?
No, but I'm just saying.
I thought they did a really good job with the first Resident Evil remaking it.
No, but I'm talking about the one they're doing now. The one that they're.
But do you not like what they're doing?
I like it. I think it's cool. But if you're a fan of the series, because obviously they're making this for fans when you do a remaster and a remake, and you're trying to attract new people to your series as well, they should keep it the same. But
I think fans have ways to play it already. You don't need to give fans the game again. They already have it.
But I just think if you're going to make a remake or not a remake of the game, it should stay the same, but just updated graphics. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like that. That's another thing I'm scared of because I think they're going to change some story elements too in 7.
If it was Ocarina of Time, I wouldn't want Nintendo to go in and start changing shit. So I kind of understand. You want the original game, just maybe with updated visuals or sound.
They're gonna do a version of in that game of where that girl doesn't die and you can save her. You watch.
Yeah, I can see it happen. Like I really can see it happening because they already said they're gonna expand on the stories and stuff like that. Like, so I think they're gonna change certain details and certain things that happen plot wise, just so they can sell more DLC.
Do we know when that's coming out?
It's
Nope.
next year,
It's been like
probably.
7 years.
Probably not till PS5.
Now it'll come out. It might be PS5 actually, because he did say, because there's 3 episodes. No, but it depends how, we don't know how far along they are in development.
They had to because another studio was making it, and apparently they wasn't happy with what they were making, so they had to like restart remaking it again. So that means
So they remade the remake of the remake.
pretty much.
And you know what? That is such a Japanese thing to do, because what Japanese developers do, right, and especially with Final Fantasy, they have a history of doing this, is that when a new engine comes out or new graphics are updated,